Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you guys don't know because you can't read the title, or maybe you just didn't read the title, today we are counting down the top 5 worst figures of 2022. And who are we? Well, that's me, the N-PUT, the Raziel of the Canes from the PS2 era of video games, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, the guy who goes live every Thursday night, evening, or really just depends on what time it is in the world for you. We got Gotbot underneath us, and that sounded dirtier than I thought it would, but it doesn't really matter. And we're still waiting on Ninja Bill, but Ninja Bill is always Ninja Bill late. And if you don't know what that means and you haven't been around the community for that long, but it's okay. Guys, I don't know what else to do for introductions. Except for
I want to clarify that the thumbnail included TFA and Danni Dolphin, who are not here today for some reason.
They couldn't make it. They,
I don't think the thumbnail included me, so I'm just here.
No,
Yeah,
it's okay.
There's my face on that thumbnail.
Yeah, hey, I pulled pictures of what I had from what you guys sent me a while back.
What I need to do is I need to say Ba Weep Gran I Weep Ninny Bong, because that covers TFA. And I need to say that tonight I, yours truly, am everybody's favorite dolphin.
Oh, there you go. And YouTube is definitely the safest place to find Gotbot.
100%.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, and YouTube is the safest place to find me. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It might be the safest place to find me.
We have one viewer. My girlfriend just popped up.
I want to say welcome everybody in chat. We got Survive Fan, and we've got Catherine
Moreau. Yeah, you're getting it. You're getting it.
Okay. Well, I read it. I know it's French. The last name is French, but I try to read it. I try to read it in English, and it always comes out.
It's like the guy from the island.
What island?
Dr. Moreau. The island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's her ancestor.
Okay. I was gonna say, did she come with a plane?
No plane.
Okay.
No, I don't travel that much. I should.
Well, guys, you guys can find everyone who's watching. You guys can find links to everyone's channel down below in the description, except for Gotbot. I think I'll have to add that one in later. But yeah, last minute things make last minute details.
That's all right. It's Christmas. I'm just happy to be included.
There you go. Merry Christmas, everybody. By the way, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah,
and all of the other holidays that I can't remember right now.
I wonder what's the holiday for the Church of Satan? Is it Christmas? I guess.
I don't know. For the Church of Satan, I don't know. And this Festivus, I got a lot of gripes for you people.
No, I'm just saying. Anyway, it's
Festivus. Anybody get that?
Festivus, yes.
I'm not even a Seinfeld fan, and even I got that.
No, Festivus, yeah, but it's a great episode. It's a great episode.
I heard something the other day for the first time. It's called Friendsgiving. Have you guys have heard of that one?
That sounds stupid.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds dumb.
I know that the show Friends had a Thanksgiving special instead of a Christmas special every year.
No, they would have a Christmas special too.
I don't remember a lot of Christmas stuff. Well,
no, man, the one where Chandler is in Tulsa, and Monica thinks that like he's having an affair with the vice president, Mrs., and he quits his job and comes back, and the holiday armadillo.
Oh yes, the holiday armadillo. I forgot that.
Your half Jewish friend. What?
Right?
Or the one where they were looking for the gifts, and Rachel says, you got an idea for a good gift, Chandler, but what if Monica got you a really good gift and then like 2 medium gifts and you only got her 1 gift? Then she's gonna feel bad. Why would you want to do that to her, Chandler? Why? And then they go snooping for gifts.
Yeah.
Right?
It's official, people. Godbot watched a lot of Friends. So did I.
Starscream
I'm
White
actually,
is a huge fanatic. So over the
yeah,
years, we have watched and rewatched that series innumerable times.
I never watched it when it played, but now on my Facebook, video thing,
My very
it's all
favorite
friends.
episode. My very favorite episode is where Joey thinks he's talking French.
I don't remember that one.
Oh my God, he's learning from Phoebe, and
Oh,
Phoebe gives the sentence, "Je m'appelle Claude," and he goes, "Je t'appelle Blue."
oh
She's
yeah,
like, "Not exactly." He's like, "Sounds exactly the same to me,"
yeah.
So,
which is funny because Matt LeBlanc is fluent.
so I got to say this about Friends. When that show was coming out and it was new, and then it finally ended, and it ended right before I went into high school, and it was on syndication for the longest time.
Mhm.
And I remember in theater class, from senior year in high school, all the chicks in theater are talking about Friends, and it was like this because it came on here at like 6:30 at night. It was a syndicated show at this point, and everybody was talking about it like it was brand new episodes, and I guess they had just
Yeah.
discovered it. And I
Yeah.
remember looking, they're like, "Oh my God, do you watch Friends and what?" And I was like, no, I think the show sucks. And just
Dude, that was
everyone's
your
jaw dropped.
gateway to sex in high school. If you knew the show that the girls were watching and you could talk about it, you were in the circle.
You're
No,
right.
no, and you're totally right. But look, everyone knows I'm a huge metalhead, but even back then I wore that on my sleeve. So I wasn't trying to jam out to some Slayer and be the guy who watches Friends and listens to Slayer. But I am the guy who jammed out to Slayer and watched Gilmore Girls on the regular basis. So take that for what you will. But in my
Gilmore Girls,
defense,
right?
in my defense,
No, nothing defensible about that,
oh
buddy.
no, it
Yeah.
is defensible.
I'm out.
It is perfectly okay to be a huge
Unsub.
metalhead and watch Gilmore Girls because
Oh,
Sebastian Bach is in the show and he's in the band. He is the lead guitarist. So we got the lead singer of Skid Row, one of the greatest metal bands ever,
in
in
that show.
Gilmore
Okay.
Girls. So it's acceptable.
That's
It's
pretty
like,
loose. That's a pretty
when
loose excuse, buddy.
you watch a lot of
You like Friends. I
WWE
don't want to
guys,
hear it
right?
from you.
No,
guys-
no. I like my wife, and she likes Friends.
Okay, well, my girlfriend likes me and she likes Gilmore Girls.
I like Big Bang Theory because I am very Sheldon.
I
Like if
liked
you
it.
knew me in my daily life, I am exceedingly Sheldon.
Yeah, well,
Our friends often call me and Sam the Shamey. And there's actually a picture that's been done where she's hugging me and I'm just sort of standing there, and it's put side by side with a picture of Amy hugging Sheldon, and it's like the same thing. It wasn't planned. It just worked out that way. And a couple of years ago, we were going to go to a Halloween party, and there's a picture of Sam dressed up as Amy, and it's like, oh my God, that's so spot on. It's creepy.
but I watched a lot of Big Bang until to a point where it went from embracing nerds to making just fun of them. And
I liked it. I liked it the whole time. My favorite line is, "If outside is so great, then why has man spent thousands of years perfecting inside?" Because I hate outdoors.
you know what? I've been doing something similar for years now, and people would say, "Why didn't you come outside?" I'm like, no. My ancestor went from, hunting bison on the plains to go in caves. I'm honoring my ancestors.
Well, go for it. Go for it.
TFA, welcome.
So TFA is here, but where's Ninja Bill?
Well, no, actually, he asked me for the link, but he's still out of power. So.
Okay, all right. I guess for when it comes back on.
Yeah.
Are we gonna like kick this off and get into it or what?
Yeah, man,
Next thing you know,
absolutely. We're going to
I'm gonna have
You're
to
the one
leave,
who
and we
wanted to
won't have
talk
any of
about
the terrible
Friends.
figure throwing.
Look,
Yeah.
you wanted to talk about Friends, so I let you talk about Friends. I was being
I
nice.
didn't want to talk about Friends.
But since you started it, real quick, TFA, introduce yourself, man. Tell all the world where they can find you, what you do, and all that stuff. And then after that, we'll let Gotbot start down the countdowns because he's so good at that.
I'm TFA 10. You're gonna have to forgive me. I recently just had a breakdown. I'm TFA 1024, the TF Addict. You can find me here on YouTube and Instagram. For how much longer, I honestly don't know. But hopefully the videos and everything that I provided put a smile on your face and embrace you to tell your story and just have fun in the Transformers community. I would promote upcoming projects, but I'm not really in the best mindset right now. So again, you'll have to forgive me. The holidays are always hard this time of year for me. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, well,
I did steal your Ba Weep Ground I Weep Ninny Bomb when you weren't here to help you be here, Spirit Man.
yeah.
Thanks.
I was also everybody's favorite dolphin for what it's worth. So
No, I mean there's no stealing. It's the universal greeting.
fair point. Fair
That's
point.
a good
So input. How are we doing this, buddy?
Okay,
Well-
well, it's not worst figure. It's what we came up last Friday on my channel. We did the top 5. And then this week we said, why don't we do the top most hated? And it was like, no, I don't hate anything.
It wasn't hate. It was just like the top 5.
Disappointing.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
let
top
down.
5 worst.
But
Top 5
but
worst
like-
figures.
But are we doing this just like one at a time, or do we give what we feel like was our top 5? Or
No,
okay, so I
bottom
thought-
5? Or like,
I
how
figured
how
you
are we working this?
So I
I-
figured we do just round robin. We start with you.
Okay.
And then I guess go back and just, or we can do all 5 at the same time. Whatever, don't really matter because I know we got you.
I think that this is interesting. I said this earlier when I was with Ninja Bill. I feel like when everybody's top 5s and top 10s come out this year, I think they're going to be all over the map
Mhm.
because I think so much of it relies on whether or not you had good QC or bad QC. And I think if you have bad QC, something you'll say is, "Oh, this was a terrible experience and a terrible figure." Somebody else will say, "Man, mine was great."
Yeah.
And I feel like Ninja Bill can vouch because I said these exact words earlier. I feel like I can give you my 5 now, and I can tell you why they're my 5. And I bet you that some of you are going to be shocked. And you're going to be like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know." And now, could that change? Because there's still, a week or so left to the year. I don't know exactly what I'm going to get in that time that's left remaining. So maybe it could change, but I can only go on what I have now.
Hold on.
So,
hold on,
like,
hold on,
if
are you
what?
expecting? Hold on. Are you expecting surprises on Christmas? Because I know exactly which Transformer I'm getting from each person who asked me what I wanted for Christmas.
It's not so much that I'm expecting surprises. It's
Okay.
that I'm not sure if everything's going to be here before the end of the year.
Okay,
And
stuff you
depending
order,
on depending on what happens with shipping and stuff, and if it gets here, will determine if I include it in 2022 or 2023.
Okay.
So it could change, and it could not, and I can't speak to the things that I don't have yet, right?
All right, so
Well,
we'll do our
very
top
mature.
5. We'll do all of our 5 at once.
Okay,
How's
well then let me go first because I'm probably the one that's on the tightest timeline
Yes.
Yeah, well, I
here.
was gonna
And if
suggest
I got to
that.
duck out, I don't want to duck out and not be done, right?
And also,
So-
you're the most famous one here, so
So for me, I don't know
let's
about
use
that.
that.
I don't know.
So top five for me. Starting with number 5, and I'll go down. Number 5 is probably going to have to be drag strip. Mine has a really loose waist. I don't like the short leg proportions. He's okay, but when I compare him to the Combiner Wars, I said it's not better. It's just lateral. It's apples to apples. Why was my Combiner Wars $20 and this $15? Sorry, and this $40. I'm sorry, I don't see the extra value. So he was a disappointment to me.
Okay.
Number 4, and I hate to say this because I love the mold so much, but number 4 is probably Shattered Glass Starscream because he yellowed so freaking bad.
It's a valid
So
point.
bad. I had to do so much paint work on that. It's ridiculous. Really, really took away from the experience. And I love the Siege mold, but that was a rough go with it, man. A real rough go with it. Number 3, again, I hate to say this, probably Crankcase. I love the mold. and I haven't reviewed Crankcase yet, though I have him. Nothing holds his chest in at all. If I go to move his arm forward at all, the chest comes up, left or right. The chest will give before either of the arms do, and I find that kind of disappointing. I gotta say, I find that a real bummer. Number 2. Oh, number 2 is hard.
Number 2.
Right. Number 2. See, I know number 1. Number 2.
I feel that at number 3 you should have went the halfway mark.
I should have went the halfway mark. You're absolutely right. Number 2, honestly, I gotta go with definitely Holly from Holly from the HasLab set. I mean,
you're right, Holly.
Was it Holly?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had to shave plastic off the legs just to attempt to get them to stay on. I mean, and I get it. Somebody might say, yeah, but the original mold had that issue. You had 3 years to fix that, and you didn't bother to do anything with it. And you still threw it in with something that you were selling as something to be crowdfunded. And you couldn't care less to fix a major flaw with something that you were including. I find that distasteful. And number 1 for me, and I hate to say it, it's got to be Road Rocket. She fell apart. She was garbage. I had to fix literally every single solitary joint on her. Her pelvis, I guess, waist, lower stomach, that area that moves the most for her to transform. Through consultation with Ninja Bill, I could tell you that forget about the bicep swivels coming off. Forget about the legs coming off. Forget about having to thicken hinges and stuff. Forget about all that, because I do that with literally everything on her. Forget about the motorcycle piece just not staying on. I had to thicken that up too. That waist piece was assembled both upside down and backwards. It was, when I got her in package, it was impossible to do the transformation. Not possible because of the misassembly. She got to be the worst. It was something, and I said in the review, I said, this mold has such great potential. It's clever engineering, but the tolerances and the QC and the
not a great mold.
It was such a letdown, such garbage. That said, since I wasn't around for the top 5, and I'm not doing my top 5, but I could tell you right now that 2 of my absolute strongest for the year is G-Axis. He is everything a Voyager needs to be, and mine has not at all yellowed a bit. And to my shock, I can't believe I'm going to say this, because we all know how much I rag on Unicron Trilogy. Override. She's a delight.
Yeah, see, she's shelf warming right now in my area, and I don't know the character, but
she's great though. I'm not tied to her, but she's wonderful.
I took back my Road Rocket and traded it in for Skids, or was it Skids? I can't remember which one I traded it in for.
Yeah,
but
Skids or Burnout, probably.
Roadburn.
Burnout.
Yeah, Burnout. I traded it in for a Burnout, and it was an upgrade for me because I love Burnout.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fine.
All right, Ninja Bill, what's your bottom 5, man?
Oh, hi everyone. I'm late to the show. I lost power earlier, and thankfully it's back on now. So
yeah, it went from my area to yours.
yeah, we got a ton of snow and heavy winds dropped on us, and I saw my first snow twister. Basically,
I think you saw the first.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I'm like,
well, no, other people in my family and others have seen them before too. Think of them like dust devils, okay? So
I've never heard of either of those things until I'm today years old when I've heard of dust devils or
dust devils. Basically, like a sand tornado, like a sand twister.
Yeah,
you can keep that. I don't want that.
Someone trade me some weather because we had a tornado last week.
Tornadoes are not fun. So I guess I'm next. So I guess I'll start with
your camera.
What about it?
Well, are you gonna show the figures? No. Okay.
Yes, I was playing.
Oh, I didn't have.
No, it's cool. Or
Yeah, yeah.
Is that an option
fir-
or is that a
I
my
mandatory?
try to
first
force
one-
these guys to put their face on camera once in a while.
My first one is this Power Rangers Thunder Zord.
Oh, dude, that whole line sucks, bro. They just put that whole
Oh
line
my
at
God,
number 5.
Really? I'm
So-
disappointed. I was looking at a Zord.
So I bought this. I bought this thing expecting it to be an action figure, right? But
What is it?
and instead I pretty much got a statue, right? I got a statue with such limited arm. This is it for the legs. See that? That's it for the leg
Wow.
movement. The arms move and the head doesn't move at all. So
Sorry.
the arms move and that's it. That's it. There's no elbow, just the shoulders, and the legs literally move that far.
Wow.
Yeah, and that figure's like $20 too.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you guys,
Well, here it was $26.99. Yeah, 20. I still got the thing. $26.99.
That'd be like $59 here.
And I was expecting an action figure because of the Lightning collection. I was like, all right, cool. Sure, no, crap. Don't buy this. Don't buy this. They're it looks good, but I was expecting an action figure. It'd have been nice maybe if instead of gray it was silver. It'd have been nice if there was some die cast on this maybe, but no, it's good solid plastic. I'll give it that much, and it looks good. I'll give it that much. But if you want a statue, there you go.
See, what's disappointing? What's disappointing about that entire Zord line to me is the monsters are a 7-inch scale. Those Zords are roughly a 7-inch scale. So you can have like these fight scenes like they would do in the show, but the Zords are nowhere near as articulated as the monsters. So you can't really pose them. It looks like if you took a modern day Lightning Collection monster and put it with like your old Power Ranger line in a display. It's just a style clash. It doesn't work.
Okay.
And that's a huge problem to me. Because the monsters don't scale with the Power Rangers. Because the Rangers are 6 inches and the monsters were always dudes in suits, so they should be 6 inches, but they made them a 7-inch scale instead. But hey, I will say this: at least the Hasbro monsters scale with the old 6.5-inch scale Bandai figure.
I will give that. I will give you that. Give it that too. I will give it that too. But yeah, that was my top worst of the year. I think because
what are your other 4?
It's the utter. Well, I'm getting there, but it's just the utter disappointment when I open the box and I pull it out. And you're excited,
princess.
and thanks. Okay, so much like Dennis there, my next is RC.
Yeah.
Is like this thing is crap. It's a seriously. It looks good, and that's all it does is look good. It's not a great mold, okay? This part I've had to glue on so it doesn't come off because that thing had zero friction. It fell off. If I did this, it would fall off, okay? It was just the arms were just so loose in there. I've had to tighten up every joint. And mine wasn't quite as bad as Dennis's Road Rocket, but it was there.
We were a good hour and a half. Myself and Ninja Bill were a good hour and a half just trying to figure out because he was like, move it like this. I'm like, what are you talking about? Mine can't move like that. And I showed him. He's like, that's not put together right.
You know what's amazing? What's amazing? We had that same conversation about my Victory Saber.
We did. Yeah.
Because it was like because you're asking about the elbow joint and the butterfly joint. And I was like, mine doesn't
do that.
Do that? Like, okay. Yep. And it's like, dude, mine's so
very similar conversation, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Sorry, Ninja Bill. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I guess my next one is this piece of junk. This piece of absolute turd called Scorponok.
Dude,
that's trash. Oh yeah, I should have thrown Scorponok in there.
It's trash, man. I have the original toy, and I should have just left this one alone because I'm happier with the original toy. because this thing, I'm glad you enjoy it, Raz, because this thing is.
Yeah, no, take go on AliExpress, order Transform Element Stinger Warrior.
Yeah.
Okay, mine has 2 left foot, so it doesn't transform properly at the mouth, but it's
Oh, wow.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastically crap.
I will say this: I bought that, so I found that Scorponok at Walgreens, and I bought it, and I bit the bullet because I was like, and I knew that figure was bad going into it, and I knew I was going to hate it, but there's something about that figure that's so bad that to me it makes it charming. I will never buy the mold ever again, right?
Yeah.
But there's
Yes, you will
something
when it's in a 4-pack.
Yeah, thank you. I was about to mention that.
I didn't. Okay, so I didn't. My gold bug I traded for. I traded a Centurion drone with all the accessories and everything for that gold bug. And
I would have picked up
that gold bug is gorgeous. The paint on that is beautiful.
Fantastic gold bug. All right, sorry, Ninja Bug. Keep cutting you off, man.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Hey, you didn't even include me in the program. I saw the thumb. Thank you.
I see. You need. Okay, yeah.
I'm not there either, Bill. Don't feel bad, buddy.
I did. No, I did. But I wasn't. To be fair, I wasn't sure if you were joining or not. I didn't remember if we talked about. Because I know we talked last week about doing it on my channel, on Raz's channel, but I wasn't sure. I didn't remember if you were. You said that you would be able to do it or not. So.
I'm a ninja. I appear and disappear at will, so it's all good.
I'm a doofus. I usually just fall down and then I'm off the camera.
Okay. Real quick. Prime Diecast Toys asks, "How is Victory Saber? I just bought one. I have a video.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It really, really depends on who you ask. Mine was a terrible experience because mine was riddled with QC issues. But I've seen people that have gotten theirs, and theirs is perfect. So I won't even say mileage may vary. It's definitely an amazing experience, or it's just a terrible experience. I haven't seen an in-between experience at all.
Mine only, like, the Micromaster seemed to be poorly done across the board.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at the main core of what's offered there being Victory Saber, mine had 1 QC issue. Really. Inputs had 40.
Mine had a ratchet installed improperly, so the knee wasn't ratcheting. I had to go in and take the figure completely apart in the leg to get the ratchet to work properly.
Now we've totally gone off track though from Bill, but yeah, it depends.
No, that's okay.
But I know TFA's copy is pretty good, right? Last week he was in your top 5.
Well, I mean, it's more so like everyone's been saying, it's more so like an experience thing, and also he's my very first Victory Saber, so I have no real complaints. Unfortunately, it did have some very minor like paint defects where it was like these weird blue splotches of paint were on the V star. The gold was kind of a little messed up, but like nothing that would like bug my OCD to the point of like I need to fix this immediately.
I have yet to watch a review that they did not have a QC issue on it. So maybe you guys have seen something I haven't, but I have yet to see at this.
I haven't seen any QC free.
Look, not to get off track of what I was showing off here, but the fact is that toy should have had a fit and finish. It doesn't.
Yes.
You're right. So what? How many have you shown now, Bill?
3.
4? 3? 3. Okay.
So the next one is Cyberverse Hammer Strike, and as you can see, look at that discoloration.
That's yellow.
Oh, yes.
This is my 3rd one. I bought 2 in front of this one. Hope that I thought, okay, maybe it was where I was storing it. Maybe it was no. This, I mean, look at that. That's just.
Yeah. No, my blue is kind of green too, Ninja Bill.
Same. So you're telling me, hold on, because on camera that looks like yellow paint. That's yellowed plastic on that thing?
It's yellowed plastic, yeah.
Yeah.
God,
he turns like this ugly, like
look at that.
Yellow.
Yeah, it looks like what a baby does in their diaper.
Yeah, it looks like pea soup, man.
It's a nice.
It looks like someone threw up seafood.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's too bad because he was kind of an interesting design and stuff, something different, right?
He's a cool character too, even though he didn't do much.
Absolutely, yeah. And what's your last one, Bill?
What's your number one?
And he had a great great. Okay, my last one is this POS.
Coronation
It's-
Starscream.
This
It's-
POS.
You know what's funny? I don't
Yeah.
have Cornate. That's the red series one, is it?
No, it's
No,
the
that's
Oh,
the.
I
that's the
have
actual.
the-
Okay.
I have the red series
Oh
one. He's
God, yeah, I didn't buy that.
back over there, and I like that one. But the
No.
reason why I don't like it, and I'll be quite honest with you, is all of the accessories and stuff, fantastic, love it, dig it. Okay, I don't like the fact that this is plastic. All right, they should have went with soft goods on this. They
Yeah.
really should have. They should have went
Suckered with
soft-
wire.
It's
Yep.
a shame too because the red version just did a cloth cape. Why couldn't they
Yeah,
just
they did.
Yeah.
transferred that to the SS86 one?
I
But
have
the
that one. and it's
Earthrise mold
fantastic.
is so good.
No, it's not.
No, good.
No, it's not.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it is.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
No,
is-
it's not.
this
Not
is
compared
why-
to the Siege, it's not.
This
Dude,
is
okay, the Earthrise. Look, the Earthrise mold was great in 2006. Okay,
That's right. That's right.
and it's
Yeah,
great
updated.
today.
Yeah.
Okay, it's great today.
Yeah, you can't
Oh.
really compare a Cybertronian jet mold to a Earth form. It's
but that's
comparing
my
apples
problem
to
is-
oranges.
that's
I'm
my
not.
problem is-
I'm not. I'm comparing the robot to the robot. There's no waist. There's no wrist. There's hollow bicep.
I mean, that's fair,
hate
but it's
the
basically
Earthrise
just
one.
it's just the upscaled 06 Seeker mold, like Input said.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my problem with it. Is I am not a fan of the Earthrise mold. It's so
No.
much so that I skipped all of them, but I had to have the coronation set because I was like, okay, so maybe I can. And as a matter of fact, right now he's wearing the RED crown. I did have the cloth cape on this. I thought, okay, it would make it all better, but no, I still hate this mold.
Yeah.
I'm
The
just not. a
interesting, the interesting thing about that cape is it unfolds like the old MP3 Masterpiece cape did.
Mm.
And
right,
so
that's
it's
right,
essentially
yeah.
it's just it's a shrunk down version of that cape. And the problem with that idea is that's not MP03. So
Yeah.
it's not going to look the same. It's not going to flow the same because the articulation in that figure is different than MP03 is. So you're not going to get the hand. You're not, you don't have the wrist articulation to spin the hand to open it. You can't get as dynamic as a pose as you can out of MP03. So it really should have been a fabric cape. And what's up, DFS? Hope you're all right, buddy.
Hey,
Yo,
DFS.
yo, DFS.
But I mean, like the RED one, I think looks spectacular. Okay, yes, it doesn't transform. If you get over that, get past this. This is actually pretty good. It's got good articulation. He looks the part. He looks like he stepped right off the screen. And again, soft goods cape. I like the pauldrons, even though they're missing the gold. They really should have had the gold. They're missing it. But it's just I like this a lot more than I like this. I mean, this is, I don't know what
I love the Earthrise mold.
this is a blocky, chunky Starscream, and this is Coronation Starscream.
Yeah.
So this might as well be, I don't know how to phrase it. It just, this even weighs more. The red one even weighs more than this one does, even with all the parts on it. This one still weighs more. So it's a heftier plastic. I don't know what to tell you. It's for my money, I say if you want a Coronation Starscream, and I'm being a bit unfair because I understand the Earthrise one, the Studio Series one, it's got to do a lot of things. It's got to be Starscream, right? It's got to be a jet. It's got to have all the stuff on it, so it's got to do all those things. Okay, great. And the red one, all it has to do is stand there and look pretty. I get it. All right, I get it. I know, I understand that. But from my money, I would suggest people get that Coronation Starscream. So, so that's my list. That's my worst of the year.
Okay.
All right. TFA, man. What do you got? What are you bringing? Bringing the heat. Come on, man. Bring it.
There's no heat for me. I'm Mr. Nice Guy, remember? Also, you'll have to forgive me if you hear background noise. I'm wrapping up my nephew's gift.
No, you're fine.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
All good.
Boy, top
Yeah,
five.
what is? Oh, I guess you can't tell what your nephew is getting because.
Well, they don't watch. Well, I mean, they do watch YouTube, but they don't watch my stuff.
Yeah, family doesn't support us in the same way.
Well,
My girlfriend's gonna
I-
watch
hey,
my
hey.
stuff, but
Hey,
I can't say that 'cause
Oracle
mine does.
supports. Oracle supports. She's on
Exactly.
TFT.
Your wife will
Oracle
watch
does.
it. You
My
know,
dad
my
supports.
wife, she hits my
Especially
playlist.
wife sometimes does.
All my
Yeah.
nieces and nephews,
Hey.
all watch my channel, so I'm content.
And I'll say
That's
this, Becky watches TFA no matter where he's at. Don't matter what channel, everything.
No,
So,
she would be here tonight, but she's working.
we'll give her some love and shout her
Yes,
out.
you're right. Yes, even I know. You're right. Even I know that's right. Yes, I was wondering where Becky was, as a matter of fact. Good point.
Yeah, she's basically my own personal cheerleader.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. You got to have that.
You gotta have
That's
at
a good
least
point.
one.
Such beautiful metallic blue paints on this too, and it Anyway, sorry.
No,
Go
it's
ahead, TFA.
giving me the excuse to think because I don't really. I guess I could start off with some of the predictable ones. God, 2022, what a year. I got to kind of jump on like everyone because everyone so far has had like a selection from like the Velocitron line. I gotta be honest, Crasher. She's kind of disappointing for me. I don't really. I mean, shout out to TF Addictress. I wasn't supposed to open it until Christmas, but she got me both her and Shadow Strip because, well, she did. Our freaking Walmart ended up getting them, and it's not a matter of like bad QC or anything for me personally. It's just a matter of like this is supposed to be GoBot Crasher, which obviously it's not going to be like a. It's not going to be like a carbon 1-to-1 copy of what her design reflects. It's more so a homage to the 2007 Fracture from the Allspark Power Tool line.
Yeah.
But it's just
it's
the Kingdom Mirage mold. I don't really care for it that much.
I skipped the Mirage mold entirely, and I kept my 2008 classic Mirage in my chug.
Same here.
It's not a terrible mold. It's just one that I'm kind of like, this could have been better. And I hope like maybe Studio Series 86 does it. Cause I mean, pretty sure Mirage showed up in like one frame. And if Snarl can get an SS86, why can't Mirage?
Right.
But he needs a remold.
Yeah. I don't. And the fact that it's like, oh, GoBot Universe Crasher. It's like, okay, this could mean one of two things. They're either doing it because that design is based off of the IDW reboot, IDW 2 design, which she does show up in the comics. Or they're just kind of making fun of GoBots because GoBots is like the punchline of pretty much everything.
Yeah. You know what would actually be a good mold for Crasher? Remember those McDonald's red, white, and blue Transformers? They had 4. That car,
I know what
that
talking
out
about.
mode, that would have been a great Crasher.
Power of the Primes Jazz would have made a great.
Yeah, like they have.
Everybody says that, but I don't agree. I can't see it. The chest would be 1,000,000,000% off. Yeah. I don't think it would have worked. I gotta go because my time is up. But I'm definitely going to be catching up with the rest of this. And don't worry, I'll still make sure to judge you harshly.
Okay.
Be nice to me.
And don't forget.
Thanks, man.
And don't forget. Thanks for coming by, Godbot. But don't forget, somehow, some way, you do
each and every single solitary day. You do make a difference in the world. Absolutely. Have a good show, guys. I'll certainly be catching up with you guys soon enough. Have a Merry Christmas and a happiest New Year.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations on the spotlight. All those leaks, man. Good Lord.
Yeah, tons of leaks this week.
What's your number? What's your number 4, buddy?
God.
I don't think he said number 3 yet. I think Crasher was 2.
No,
Crasher was number 5, but yeah.
Well, we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1
right now, so it'd be my second.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, you'll have to forgive me. My mindset is not really good.
It's all right, man. That's what we're here for, dude. We're here to cheer you up. We're here to perk you up, man. So that's what we're doing.
I have to go on TF Wiki. I can't remember everything that came out this year, honestly. There's so much.
But just look around in your room and go, oh, that piece of shit.
If you want to pass over, if you want to go to TF Wiki and pass over to Razz, dude, that's more than you're totally fine to do that.
Yep.
So Godbot says, I missed the congratulations. What was it that was said? What'd you say, TFA?
Oh, I was saying congratulations on getting like spotlighted on T-Formers and TFW and Cybertron for the leaks and everything that you got.
Oh,
There you go.
hey, we have been.
What's up, Ben? All right, so yeah, Raz, go ahead. What's your top 5? While
I mean, I have the. Okay.
Huh?
Well, if you're ready, TFA, go ahead. Finish the list.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly I could go last. I don't mind.
Okay. All right, Raz, what you got, man?
Okay, first one is Studio Series 86 Perceptor. I was disappointed because, well, hollow parts, in the
He was
back.
going to be on my list too. He was going to be on my. He was a runner-up.
And I hate the transformation. It's like Optimus Prime screamed, transformed, and then he panicked and did something. That's my thought. So yeah, Perceptor, but I love Paul Hiding, and I've been trying to get Paul Hiding, and Ben just said that he just got a PS5. Congratulations. I'm not a PS guy myself, but
That thing is a wonderful piece of machinery. Congratulations.
yeah, I hear good things about it. Everybody's talking about God of War, and I've never played one game of God of War.
Oh my God, dude. Okay.
Don't you mean oh my God of War?
Sidetrack real quick.
Nice one.
Sidetrack
But no,
real quick.
if everybody say, "Oh, you never played God of War," and I reply, "You never played Baldur's Gate," you
Oh
can't
my
argue.
God,
with me.
Baldur's Gate, dude, y'all are getting me started on stuff, man. It's supposed to be
Baldur's Gate is awesome. It's on Steam.
It's a fantastic series, dude.
Oh, hey guys, if you like hack and slash, go get on Steam right now. It's the winter sale. Bravery and Greed.
Not a
All
sponsor.
right, I'll check that. Text that to me so I don't forget.
Yeah. Well, my text is my camera, so I'll try to remember. Okay, second figure, Studio Series 86 RC. Not that she's a bad mold,
Oh, she sucks.
but I expected more. I don't like the alt mode with those two things here that it's just holes. I like the transformation. I just don't like the alt mode that much. I expected more, and my lips are mispainted. They painted under the lip, so on her chin. So that's kind of weird. But yeah,
She just did her makeup messy this morning. Don't be a misogynist.
There you go. So yeah, disappointed in her, but she still took.
So what you're saying is
spot.
So you're saying skip that one and get the Earthrise one. Gotcha.
No, my Earthrise is down there. Like she's with my leftover bots.
All right, what's your number 3, buddy?
This one I was trying to tell myself, hey, Chauncey. I was trying to tell myself, oh, it's not that bad. I don't know. It's not that bad. It's that bad.
Oh, yeah.
I had a feeling he was going to show up.
Yeah, so disappointed in the alt mode of the plane. I like the tank, even without the upgrade kit, which I'm still thinking of getting, but shipping is killing me. But I think the tank mode is okay. Maybe, he has the peener on top, and then at the end, there's the two big thrusters. But I can live with that. The robot mode is fantastic. The sword is bendy because it's rubber plastic.
Safety for children.
I'm disappointed. We got rid of him. Okay, my number
2.
Okay, this is something. It's an older figure that I got this year at TFCon. So for $40, I got this guy and Brunt. So I'm like, okay, good deal. $20 a deluxe, Canadian. So it's cheap. And I didn't expect anything from Brunt. I ended up preferring Brunt to this. The transformation is he falls on his back and his hands go up here, and then you just the connector to connect the back and front of the truck, whatever he is. It doesn't peg properly, and I don't really like the weaponizer gimmick. I picked it up because I really like Cog in the War for Cybertron show, and I'm disappointed. And then my most disappointed is because I had the original, And
I want to take a guess.
Go ahead.
Number 1 is Skullgrin.
It is Skullgrin.
Okay.
I played so many hours with my cousin. He had Bombburst, and I had Skullgrin. And when we played, we didn't know what Pretenders were. What was the idea? We didn't have the show. We didn't have the commercials. We just figured that within those shell were hidden the secret weapons, the most destructive thing. So when they opened up, they would just wipe everything else we had. That was the game we had, me and my cousin. And my cousin's passed away, and so I was really looking forward to this, and then it's crap. The beside the face sculpt, that's I don't mind the robotic look of the figure because the core class kept more of the organic shell look on the figure, but this one I didn't mind the robot mode, but the alt mode is just terrible. So yeah, so that's my biggest disappointment of 2022. Sorry.
Getting 2 years ahead, or 3 years ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I hibernate.
It's like, I hope we didn't time travel. Jesus, where have I been asleep?
2025. I mean, wow. I knew Canada, had some time zone differences than where I live, but wow.
I mean, I knew I wasted my life, but I didn't know I wasted it that long.
Yeah, right. Hey, don't look. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and be 40. Okay, I still got a couple of years before I hit that mark. Let me enjoy those years.
I feel like I'm almost 30.
All right, let's see. So I would put my number 5. Oh man, I'll have to go. Actually, you know what? Since I'm gonna screen share my top 5 or whatever. So just make it easy.
Oh, Chauncey, I can relate to half of what you're saying.
I was gonna do that too.
So this is my number 5, Victory Saber. If you guys saw my video, mine's riddled with QC issues and everything. The reason why I don't put him at number 1 is after I fixed everything, I find him pretty enjoyable, but he's still an okay figure at best. And the price on him being almost $200 after tax just isn't, to me, it's just not justifiable, because all of that stuff, when you look at Commander, when the Commander class price point is like $90 retail,
yeah,
and still he's $110 more than that, and it's just essentially a copy of the G1 figure. It's just an update of the G1 figure, which has been Hasbro's MO as of late, but it's not as special as it should be for a HasLab price for all of that it entails, right?
Also missing the riddled with QC issues, especially if it's a crowdfunded figure.
Yep.
Right.
A crowdfunded figure should have the fit and finish of a masterpiece figure, and or better, or nearabouts. But no, this lacks the across the board. It lacks the fit and finish that I mentioned. It really does, and it's a crowd-funded thing, right? They should have went the extra mile over a retail piece, because literally that's what it looks like, a retail piece.
I mean, for God's sake, even Unicron wasn't riddled with QC issues, to my knowledge.
Well, yeah. Unicron had one major QC issue where the back would break off because of the plastic they used on the hinge.
But even then, look at what HasLab did. They stopped supporting it really quick.
Yeah,
that tells you right there how much they care or have concern for the customer. Is they stopped it inside of 6 months or something like that. They stopped support for it. They don't care, all right, or 3 months or something like that. But they stopped support of that really quickly. So obviously the customer, they're in it. It's not customer driven. All right, they could have released that Victory Saber in retail or a Generation Select and gotten they sold 26,000 units or something like that. So don't tell me it couldn't have been retail. Don't tell me it couldn't have been
and
a Hasbro Pulse or something.
Well, that's what I said in my video too. There a lot of people say that it's a niche character, won't work at retail, blah blah blah. But it's like 27,000 units of both of them, of both Death Source and Victory Saber sold at $180. If it was at retail at basic commander price point of $90 to $100, it would have sold 40,000 units. You know what I mean? Like, hands down, it would sell at retail. Now, my number 4, I do have to agree with Raz on this one, is Legacy Blitzwing. The main problem for me was the rubberized sword, and this is something I want to put this into perspective here. I was looking so forward to this. I saw this and I was like, okay, that's a definitive Blitzwing for me. I don't need the Titans Return one anymore. I don't need all these other versions of Blitzwing.
I know.
And
Christmas.
And I sold the Titans Return one to get this one. And then when I found this one, I was like, opened them up in the car like I was 6 years old. And I'm sitting in the Walmart parking lot. And I've got this box ripped open and everything else. And I'm like, yes, Blitzwing. And I'm fiddling with them. And I was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, it's okay, I guess. Whatever. It's just disappointing. But the rubberized sword and the arm covers, the flaps on the arms right here.
Those are annoying.
They don't plug into anything. They're just hinged. So if you get a copy where this is loose, it's just going to swing down and all kinds of stuff. The other problem is like there's a mold line right through the middle of the visor that they didn't sand down or anything. They just painted. So you get this weird line effect thing through the visor. It's so weird. And then the other thing is that he's the size of Astro Train. I don't care about scale. I've said this multiple times, right? But certain characters have defining characteristics. Blitzwing being a massive chunk of a bot is one of those defining characteristics for him. I feel like where he shouldn't be the same size as Astro Train, but he should at least be about a head taller in toy form always than Astro Train, right? But yeah, it's just an overall kind of experience at best. And I get what they're going for with the whole, the G1 accurate screen looking, thing in the front, the cockpit in the front of the tank and all. I get that. But so I don't want to say I don't mind it. It is stupid that they went that route, but I wouldn't say that's Hasbro's fault. I would say that's more of the fans' fault because everybody wants like G1 accurate cartoon accuracy, right? And in that regard, Hasbro just kind of gave the fans what they initially wanted. But yeah, with all that said, that's my number 4 for Blitzwing is Blitzwing. And I'm gonna look up my number 3 real quick. While you guys chat amongst yourselves real quick.
Yeah, real quick, I wanted to show like varying degrees. Like, okay, here was the first Hammer Strike I showed you, right? Here's the first one with that off colors. Here's the second one, same thing, only slightly lighter in the color change.
Yeah,
both have the color change. I mean, it's just
they need a new plastic. They need a new plastic supplier.
Yep.
And
unfortunately, most of the Cyberverse Deluxes, with the exception of Starscream and Hot Rod and Thunder, I forget his name, the wolf,
Thunder
Howl, have changed color. Unfortunate, but true. Like Starscream is solid.
My Hot Rod,
the Cybertronian Starscream mold, unfortunately, yellows too.
Well, mine hasn't, thankfully. Mine hasn't changed color one bit, and I really think all the rest of them have changed color.
I mean, I'm talking about the Warrior class, not that one.
Oh, yeah, the Deluxe, man. The Deluxe.
No, that one's good. Prowl, unfortunately, yellows too. Which
you wouldn't believe. He yellows. I had to completely repaint mine, and I used a nice metallic pearl colors, pearl white and metallic silver on and some metallic blues on this one to color correct it. So now he looks good, but
beforehand he looked really bad.
Oh yeah.
The worst.
He looked like plastic.
The worst QC issue in that entire line that I had was not yellowing. It was some random factory worker's hair trapped in the paint on the windshield of my Hot Rod.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Like I get the joke
man.
that Deluxe does when he says that the kid sneezed on it when he painted it, but that's freaking disgusting.
Dude, it was gross. It was gross. My number, what are we at? Number 3 now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I will say my number 3, highly anticipated figure for me, and would be Artfire.
What?
Hold
Yeah.
on. I know. Canadian.
I wish I had
Canadian
that.
Inferno. I love this mold. I hands down absolutely adore this mold. My problem is the yellowing.
Yeah.
It yellows, and that's what kills the figure for me. It's so.
It's bittersweet.
It is. No, 100% is, because here I was thinking my entire
I
life.
guess I got lucky.
Here I was when they announced this, because my entire life I was thinking, man, the only Artfire, chug scale Artfire we'll ever get would be the mail
Tokyo
order one
toy
from
show
Wuhan.
one or whatever.
Yeah. And
Or the
Right.
masterpiece.
Cutting off.
I would love to have the masterpiece Artfire. I'm missing
Yeah.
Artfire in my collection, and I would love to have the masterpiece.
I just want to apologize. I'm not trying to cut off.
No, you're fine, man.
You're good.
Yeah. But this, so when they announced this, super, super just jacked about it. And then I get it. Trans Aaron sent me one. Trans Aaron was like, hey man, I got one. It's yellow. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, dude, I'll de-yellow it, whatever. And I de-yellowed them. And I did the same thing with Shatterglass Starscream. And not even 2 months later, it's back to like PP yellow.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, are you
On the
serious?
head and everything?
Yeah, the head,
Yeah.
the head and the crane area is what yellows on him.
Yep.
So, and now I don't want to take the figure apart again because they're not screws, they're pins. And I hate dealing with those pins. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It'll stay yellow. I don't care. At this point, whatever. It is what it is. So
just paint it white with like a painter's brand paint marker. That's what
I could do that. Yeah. I mean, the headpiece is easy enough to get off. It's everything else that's white that yellows on him is a bit of a pain in the ass because of all the pins. So that's my biggest problem.
I feel that.
So let's see. We will go with that and go. Next up will be one of Gotbot's one of Gotbot's choices as well. And I'm pretty sure that you guys probably know what it is as I try to fiddle around with all of this. There we go. Bam. So take everything I just said about Artfire.
Yeah.
And multiply it by 100 with this guy with the yellowing and stuff.
Which is such a shame because he looks fantastic.
Yes!
I didn't want it because I'm not into Shattered Glass, but even I admit that, he looks great. And then I started seeing and reading everybody, including your, news on him yellowing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so sad.
Yeah. And I was like, and I saw, okay, so mine set in Oracle's office. Before it was our office, it was our media room. And that media room is dark. I mean, there was no light coming into it at all whatsoever. That's how we watched our movies. Laserdisc, VHS, DVD, Blu-rays, whatever. That's how we watched them. And that room never had any light. And that's where he sat in the Shattered Glass, in the DTOF that I have for all my Shattered Glass stuff. And I heard about the yellowing reports, and I was like, no, mine ain't yellowed. No, that can't be right. Maybe it's just a one-off thing. And sure enough, I pull him out, and I kind of looked at him. I was like, oh, he looks kind of off. And then I brought him into the light in the hallway, and he's just pea-stained yellow. And I was like, oh, no, man, are you serious?
Yeah, I would be livid.
I gave mine to Trans Aaron because he missed out, and he bought the Jetfire that I had, the Shattered Glass Jetfire from me. He bought that, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna throw this in the box. You gave me your Artfire that's yellowed. I'll give you my Starscream that's yellowed, and fair trade, right? But like
yellow to yellow. All right.
Yeah. So
And the thing is, even if you the thing with that plastic is, even if you decolor it and get it the right color, it turns right back to that off color pea green color.
Yeah, it's just better to paint it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. And absolutely.
That's what makes it even worse is because with my prowl, I originally, I get rid of all the green color, and I'm not going to bother doing it to him. I'm just going to repaint this because that's what I had to do with prowl. Because even if you soak it, and you put it in some peroxide and soak it for a while, and you do the whole thing in the sun and the jar and some hydrogen peroxide, it's still going to return back to this off color. It's still going to do it because of the type of plastic they chose to use. They knowingly they knowingly bid and purchased this inferior material, and then knowingly used it in their products and knowingly shipped it out to retailers and people knowing it would do this. All right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, and that's
Proof
the thing
is right here in my hand. If you can believe whatever you want to believe, you can love Hasbro, and I don't blame you. I still like a lot of their products. Am I a fan of Hasbro anymore? Not so much, because of what they do. Their actions speak louder than any words that anybody could say to me.
That's true.
Their actions.
And I gotta say this to Anthony. Anthony said your star screen probably yellow because it was too close to something Star Wars related. Actually, it wasn't.
Oh,
It wasn't.
There you go.
It wasn't. And I just want to say it was next to Oracle Star Trek stuff. Just wanted to clarify where it was. And then Godbot says, "Wow, input actually made picks I can't criticize with." I know too, right? It's like it's so weird. I didn't put Optimus Prime on there yet, which brings me to my number one pick. Now this one might get some ire from people. But
do it.
Now I put this on here. I just want to say this. I put this on here somewhat loosely, just like I did Victory Saber and stuff like that. Like if we're doing like a top 6 or whatever, like none of these are in order. This isn't like going from 5 to 1 or anything. Like this is just, 5 worst of the year or whatever. Right. So, but I know this is going to draw a lot of ire from people, and this is probably where Gotbot stops agreeing with me. But I'm gonna go Legacy Wild Rider. The entire transformation being a copy of Combiner Wars Wild Rider, and I get it. It's a car. There's not a whole lot that you can do with the transformation of a car, especially when the legs are the back part of the car and the front half of the car, blah, blah, blah. I get that. I do. There's not a whole lot you can do with it. But there is also, at the same time, different routes that you can take to get the same result. We saw Combiner Wars do this transformation with every single car mode that it had. Every last one.
Yep.
And they're revisiting it again. So I can't understand why this thing has the glowing reviews for the transformation that it does when it's just Combiner Wars 2.0. That being said, the entire back half of the figure is clear red plastic. Why? I don't understand that at all whatsoever. And I know a lot of people harp on the backpack doing the whole bat wing thing. I think it's stupid, but I will say this. It's something different, and at least they did something different with the backpack. That's my biggest issue. It's a lazy engineering copycat type of situation. Motormaster, they didn't copy anything up. Dragstrip transformed completely different than what I expected him to transform. Like I said, Wild Rider Breakdown, Combiner Wars 2.0. And I don't get it. And like I said, the entire back half of the being clear plastic is a terrible choice because at the end of the day, we all know what clear plastic does. It crumbles the dust. So
It did the same thing with the Studio Series Ironhide, like the whole section of the window where it clips with the roof.
Yeah,
It's all clear plastic underneath. You have to push really hard. I mean, it feels sturdy enough.
Are you talking about this one or the 86 one?
The 86 one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't found the 86 one yet, so yeah, I thought you were talking about this one.
No,
like,
the
really?
86 one is.
'Cause
Oh
this was
no, that's 84, 83. But yeah, no, I don't have that one. But yeah, 86. It's just the clear plastic kind of. It's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
and thing with clear plastic is this is older toys that had clear plastic, like for example, the Energon toys with the clear plastic. You know what? Those Energon clear plastic toys are still holding up to this day because they used a better material. All right, so
Yeah.
so clear plastic in of itself isn't such a bad thing. It depends on the quality of the material that they chose to use in the product. Like in these later years, it's this thin material, whereas before it was a nice thick solid plastic. Even though it was clear, but now it's just this really thin material because they want to save on costs. All right?
It's not even just the thin
Big deal.
material; it's just the location of where they put it on the figure.
Yeah,
and
like
they
joints.
had this very
Like joints. Why
notoriously
would-
bad habit of putting them on intricate and like high activity areas.
Mhm.
Like they're putting them on a hinges
Tracks.
that are supposed to be holding on to like the windshield.
Track.
They're putting
Kingdom
them on
Tracks.
yeah,
Perfect
like
example.
Yeah.
it
Kingdom
shouldn't
Tracks.
be that way. It's like if you're gonna do clear plastic, do it on doors if you want to, because you have the windows right there. Do it on the windshield, but keep them off of high area activity or high
Mhm.
activity areas. Like because
Yeah.
it's just gonna like look at SS86 Jazz. Look how many people broke theirs.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh yeah, dude, that backpack sheared off first transformation on a lot of people's.
Oh
And-
man, I'm very careful. So
I've
I'm
been lucky with mine too, but like there's even I can't think of any other good examples at the moment, but like
Oh, I can go down the list. We got
Blue Streak.
Blue Streak.
yeah, oh yeah, the
No,
whole
well,
Earthrise
Streak-
net
no,
symbol.
Blue Streak is different. Blue Streak is different. Even though he does have the clear plastic, at least they used it again on a joint, which is stupid. But I've been really careful with mine, and so far I've had no problems. But they shouldn't have used it, and you could just see that clear plastic right there on those hinges,
Yeah.
and it worries me. It worries so much so I haven't bothered to even review this guy. I've had him for a year. Thank you very much, Cato. By the way, I still have yet to review him. But it worries me, so I don't transform him simply because of I've seen so many people where it's either cracked or just straight broke. And
Well,
I'm
they either
just-
use a lot of brute force or they don't maneuver the part right. Because I've had no issues with mine so far either. But you do have to like be very gentle with that thing. I mean, you're basically treating it like it's glass.
That's why I prefer
say
the
this.
Siege mode rather than the Datsun Brothers.
I have the Universe 2.0 Datsun mold, right? Where they're 350Zs instead of the old school Datsuns, where it's like
Yeah, blue streak prowling smokescreen from the
right.
Yeah.
My prow. So that figure, that mold has clear plastic on the backpack and the doors and stuff. And my prow has seen way better days. But that figure, when it came out, I took to my college classes with me to fiddle around with when I got bored. I took to work with me when I was working at GameStop when I got bored to fiddle around with. Like, it has seen better days. I love that figure.
Hey,
And I
Opal.
have dropped it countless times just messing around with it like I was like a child, right? And it hasn't broken anything on it. The doors are ball joints. They pop off, whatever. The backpack hasn't broken or anything whatsoever. The smoke screen, that smoke screen fell and hit the desk, and his backpack came flying off. His door came flying off, and I was like, "Oh, so Prowl made out of this, clear plastic can survive countless falls over the last how long has that figure been out? 15 years, right?
Yeah, about
Smoke screen's been out at that point 6 months, and he can't take a fall from 6 inches. But Prowl's taking a fall on the concrete from 6 feet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep, it's materials.
But that's true. TFA, you've got your final 4 to count down, bud. So recap what your number 5 was, and go into your final 4. And I don't mean basketball.
What was my number 5?
It was Crasher.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that kind of disappointing. Hang on, I want to actually pull up a reference if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wait, I pulled up 5 by mistake. Ah, crap. I have more, but shit. Hang on.
Yeah, like Anthony says, he like a refrigerator and a nuclear explosion. Absolutely.
See, and while we wait on TFA, it's just one thing. Like I love these Studio Series Bumblebee movie toys. I do. I love them. But I'm worried about the longevity of the plastic.
The hell was
because
that?
These things are light as heck. Like this thing weighs 1/3 less than a regular deluxe. I mean, it's just I worry about. They look great in both modes, but I'm really worried about longevity of the toy itself. Like these things, you got to be gentle with them. I didn't feel that way with Soundwave, but all the rest of the deluxes are just the plastics don't feel good. All right, they don't feel good. They don't feel solid. So buy the third party.
So refresh. Also, I just want to say that mold so far, I do agree with you for the most part. I've had no issues with mine. I'm surprised that thing's even shelf forming up here in my area. I don't know why. It's a good Ironhide. I cannot understand why that entire wave is. Anyway, yeah. So number 5 is Crasher. Again, shout out to TF Addictress for hooking me up with him or her and Shadow Strip because my area has not got them yet. But yeah, I went when I first saw it. I was kind of like, oh, this is supposed to be the GoBot, and it's like, okay, cool. Why is it called Crasher? Even though, yes, it's just her color scheme when it's more so Fracture from the 2007 Allspark power line. That
Good point. Yep.
They should have labeled it that way. But then again, it also kind of contradicts with my little headcanon of calling the evil Mirage from the Siege line from Netflix Fracture and then calling this Crasher. So I guess it works. I do not. I went in this thing with such like I didn't like it. First glance, I'm like, first off, it's the Kingdom Mirage mold. It's like, yeah, okay, it's a good mold for the most part, but it's basically just Siege with new tooling. And I'm like, okay, it is what it is.
Good mold as long as you didn't get the original one with the clear plastics. Sorry, yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. Colors are cool, but she doesn't look feminine. I think I'm not saying that like every fembot needs to look like a girl. I'm just saying this just looks like Mirage cosplaying as GoBot Crasher.
That's a good point.
I think I didn't not to get off topic.
Femininity screams it.
Like not to get off topic. I think for the sake of like this figure, it really should have been the chest area should have been resculpted to be more feminine, because now you have every figure that uses this mold is a dude, right?
Yeah.
So to set it, to set it differently from that, and it's supposed to be a female, they really should have, brought in the hips, just kind of give like the chest like a little bit more of an hourglass type of shape to it.
Yeah.
Especially since
but I feel like it also kind of would have compromised like the overall design because of the way that it transforms and everything, and it would have looked weird in vehicle mode. So
yeah, but the chest is a faux piece, isn't it?
Femininity.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying like the chest piece could have just they could have given her a new head along with a new chest piece, and that would have been perfectly fine. Or just do what they did with the Masterpiece Road Rage figure. Just give her feminine thighs and retool the top just ever so slightly.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And that would have been fine, But yeah. as it sits, it's too masculine. I feel like. But sorry.
At least do a different head instead of just taking the one from that Amazon exclusive Siege 3-pack one and just paint it up like Crasher. Like make the face look a little more feminine.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, that was my number 5. Crap. How am I supposed to do this? Hang on. Okay. I saw an easy way to like switch tabs and I forget how. Oh, okay. Wait. No, it's not going to let me, is it? Okay. Whatever. So number 4, I feel like this one may stir up some people. I also try to be as different as I possibly could because I didn't want to do similar ones. I like trying to think a little outside the box. This one kind of hurts to say, but this is also more so like QC on my end. Actually, don't share yet. Hang on. Forgot to pull up just the image.
Glad there wasn't no porn on that one. Am I right?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, man, we just saved it.
Oh, 86 Ironhide.
Studio Series 86 Ironhide.
Yeah.
Look, I love this thing. I think it's a beautiful representation of the character. I think they did an outstanding job trying to replicate the Sunbow model just fine.
But
why the hell is there clear plastic on another high activity area of activity?
And why are there three different shades of red on it?
Mine is already starting to. First off, mine is already starting to chip. I've transformed that thing maybe 2 or 3 times, and that entire front section where the two fronts are supposed to connect and clip together on clear plastic, facing clear plastic, it's already starting to crack.
Yeah.
Shout out to TransAaron38 again, but he got this, and his top section, whatever it was, where the guns peg into the top roof area, those pegs have sheared clean off now.
Yep.
They're gone.
Good. It's a stupid form of weapon storage anyway.
I mean, I agree with you, but
that's another thing I didn't like. Is like, why? Like, okay, yeah, we know it's probably going to be what Ratchet's going to use, and that's going to be his little light bar, which that's kind of cheap if you think about it. If it's just
like red clear plastic. And then that's your
like it should be a proper light bar. And it's not only that, like I do like Ironhide. I think the transformation is really fun and inventive. I love what they did with the feet and the legs. The whole transformation is fine. It's just the vehicle mode transformation is the scary part. And it shouldn't be. I feel like this is something that they could have fixed, but they didn't. The van mode is all right. I've seen Lazy Eyebrows review, and I kind of agree with him on some areas where it's like those hinges are just so in your face and they look more like dents. Like it just look like dents. They don't even look like a flat van. It just looks ugly.
Have the same hinges on the Siege mold. Like there was external hinges on the
but I think it was only like 2 of them, and it was like only near the legs. This is like 4 or 5, like 6 of them actually in your face. Like you have one right there underneath that side window. You have one by the passenger and driver's seat, and you got the one by the rear tire. It's like,
it's a lot.
He did bring up an interesting question on why is this figure acceptable, but the 2008 Generations Universe 2.0 one is not. You know, with all the panel lines and everything else. And it's like this one has in alt mode the exact same issues that one had, but this one is widely accepted by the fandom, while that one is not.
Because it's that all like hyper cartoon accurate look that everyone wanted, whereas the first one that we ever got, everyone just hated on it, whether they wanted to be part of the bandwagon or whether they just legitimately don't like. I'm one of the few that actually likes that mold. I look at it like an IDW Ironhide kind of deal.
So Ironhides are they must be made out of solid gold or something, because that Studio Series Bumblebee one I just happened upon at a thrift store, because normally they just certain characters I just know I'm not going to be able, I won't look for it because I just know they won't hit my shelves. Now whether that's scalpers or retailers not ordering the figure, because sometimes that does happen. If the retailer doesn't want to have order something, they just don't, so the area doesn't see it. And then there's Hasbro shipping. But Ironhides, typically I don't hold my breath out. Like Optimus Primes, I don't hold my breath out for them. Most female characters, I'm just like, they look great.
No, I just wait for the shell formers, and then I wait for the other ones to come back, because if they're shell forming, that means the assortment's there. They just have to wait for those other copies. I get it. That's another thing. I had to, again, shout out to TF Addictress. She got this for me on my 27th birthday. We had to get it from a scalper on eBay. And then only 2 weeks later, I go to my Target and I find them. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, that's another reason why. But I'm not saying it like it's a bad figure. It's not even one of the worst. It's more of a letdown for me, because it's like when I first got it, I was like, oh, this thing is beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. And then I started messing with it. And I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to see some of the issues. Because it's like, you can polish a turd, but it's still a turd.
And my biggest issue is this. It's Studio 86. It's supposed to be the most screen accurate everything for Transformers. Where's his yellow stripe?
That's
kind of a bother too, because it's like they have the area for it unpainted. They could have just It's
just like this the core class Ratchet. This is they couldn't have, they couldn't have put a spot of red anywhere on this figure for the alt mode. Not really, not
Yeah.
I'm just
anywhere. The blue of the windows and the light bars. That's where the color is. Everything else.
It's definitely it definitely seems to be one of those things where it's like if there's not enough paint, all the money that they have is going towards the engineering. If it's not enough engineering, they're able to put more paint.
But that's what it is. I remember I ordered Tiger Track, and I got the Netflix deep cover. Netflix deep cover, tons of paint, one gun. Tiger Track, no paint, two guns.
Yeah.
Same figure, same price.
Yep.
Well, that's how they decide class now.
Yeah.
It's accessories, not.
Yeah,
not
they don't. Well, no, it's not just accessory. It's literally. It's not a matter of like, oh, this is the size this is size class pricing. It's more so engineering because they can do more now that they've experimented since Earthrise with the whole deluxes being no longer deluxe size. That's how we got Cliff Jumper and we got Wheeljack and we got all these other different size characters in deluxes, and then the Voyagers came in and we had some that were relatively close to deluxe class scale and some that weren't, and then it's all engineering based at this point, and it's not necessarily an excuse. It's just kind of how they're doing things, which is like, okay, interesting shift, but why?
Well, my question is, okay, and people say, and Hasbro says engineering, and I hear a lot of people kind of echo that, and I get that because that's what Hasbro's saying. That's what people are going to go with, right?
Mm.
But my biggest thing is like, okay, so people are saying engineering. But if you look at the Earthrise Cliff Jumper, that engineering is copied from third party, hands down.
Oh yeah,
hands out. So, and they have this thing as of late where they're copying third party, or they're copying their G1 transformations, or they're copying just transformations in general from anywhere that they can pull it from, and they say engineering, but you're not engineering anything from the ground up. You're taking from everybody else and then charging a premium price for theft of ideas, essentially. And that's my biggest issue is if Cliff Jumper transformed completely different than what he did, but I have two third-party Cliff Jumpers that transformed damn near identically that came out 3-4 years before the Hasbro one. And so I understand why people will go and say the engineering and stuff because they just don't know, because maybe they don't buy third party. Maybe they don't watch third party transformation reviews or engineer or whatever the case. People just don't know, right? And Hasbro has a tendency of hiding things in plain sight. And but it's just to me, it's like, where's the engineering? And then every time when I see something like this Ironhide, and somebody says, like one of the lead designers, Mark, will say, oh, our lead designer over at Takara, he worked his magic on this. And it's like, but those are the fingers that they're charging a lot higher price for. This is like this Ironhide. He's deluxe scale, but he's labeled a Voyager. And Mark says, oh, we're a guy at Takara designed this. And it's like, okay, so are you taking that money and giving it to the guy at Takara? And because he costs more per hour or whatever the case may be, and then it's falling onto the customer. Like there's a huge lack of communication in this entire situation, whether it's coming from Takara to Hasbro or Hasbro to the fans or something. There is a drop off in communication somewhere.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
That's not to say I don't like this thing either. Like I said, I do like them.
Yep.
I'm a little let down with, I guess, the playability of this thing because I feel like I have to be so careful with it, and I shouldn't have to because it's a Hasbro mainline figure. But of course, it seems like it across the board, no matter what scale, no matter what cost, it's like anything's going to have an issue. I
think that's why I think it. I don't know, the Ironhide. I was totally against it. The Voyager scale for the deluxe price, or the other way around. And but now that I have it, I do see that the engineering. I don't think that they mean that they thought about the engineering. They just put more engineering to it, regardless of where they got said engineering. they still had to draw the CAD files to have the
Sure.
transformation, the mold, and everything. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that I don't think I will personally complain that Hasbro is stealing ideas, because people have been stealing their ideas forever. So
I think it's more so like they're inspired by third party because they see what they can do. And
Well, let
then
me clarify. Let me clarify what I'm saying.
Hasbro's good.
Hold on.
Real quick. Hasbro has been take the RID 2001 line, for example, right? So to get around the copyright and the legal fees they would have had to shell out to these auto manufacturers, they just said, oh, okay, well, this is not really that car. We'll just take the logos that came on the Takara mold and take off those logos and sell the toy. They literally did that just so they wouldn't have to pay any legal fees. They just dropped the logos off the mold. It's like, in some cases, it looks like they just, scraped off the mold.
And I'll say, and so I'll say this: I'm not accusing anybody up there of stealing anything. Okay, right. What I'm saying is that there is a communication breakdown, and you know what? I'll say it like this: there are people up there who are engineers who have been in the Transformer fandom for forever and a day, and they'll tell you that till they're blue in the face. They love Transformers. They this, they that, blah 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 blah, and certain people in these live streams will show these figures and they'll show how they transform and they're super excited about it. And it's like, okay, Evan, you're lead designer, right? That looks very suspicious of a bad cube transformation, don't you think? And it's just, like I said, there has to be somewhere, somehow, some breakdown in communication, whether it's the CEO saying something like, I don't care what you do as long as they buy it. And they say, screw it. We're not like, okay, if the designers are tired of working 15-hour days and they're like, screw it, just take the bad cube design. Who cares? I'm not sitting here for another 15 hours to work on a clip jumper. I don't care. Just take it, right? And they feel like they're overworked and they're underpaid and all this stuff. Hey, whatever, Oh,
so like Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. There's so there is some kind of breakdown somewhere. And I'm not saying they're outright stealing it, but I am saying that there is a lack of care somewhere, whether it's the Takara side just doing it because Takara is very, you messed with us, we're going to mess with you. So Takara may be taking this third-party stuff personally, and they're just like, okay, screw you, we're going to steal all your engineering, Or like I said, it could just be the designers just being like, man, dude, I don't want to work on another figure, dude. This is like my 12th one in a week. Okay, whatever.
I'm just going to phone this in, have a beer.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a possibility.
But what's your, sorry, man. Okay, so what's your number 3, TFA?
It's all good. This one hurts to share, honestly. Also, I figured out how to share different tabs.
Okay.
Hang on, let me get all the pictures this time so I'm not ill-prepared like usual.
And I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question to Benjamin. I have not watched Larkin's review. Is that entire top half of Tarn made out of clear plastic? Because it does look like it from the pictures that I see. Just let me know.
I watched Mgo's review of it.
Oh, did you? Is the top half clear plastic?
When you say the top half, do you mean like his legs and everything, or do you just mean like the areas of the cannons?
No, I mean, so when I look at the pictures, it looks like from the waist to his neck, that entire upper torso, sans the arms, is clear plastic, just painted clear plastic. That's what it looks like.
I think the treads, I think they might be. I can't fully remember. I have to go back and look.
Okay.
But, no, Benjamin said no.
Benjamin,
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it yet, so.
Okay, so this is another one that sort of hurts, and this was one that I was actually really excited for. Legacy Kickback.
Yes.
Oh my God! Yeah,
he was a runner-up as well.
It honestly hurts because he's my favorite Insecticon, and yes, this is basically just a carbon copy of like what we got in 1985 or 1984. But it's like it doesn't have to be that simple, and you're gonna make it into Ransack, and I mean he's sure okay, why not? But I got him. I found him at Target about an hour away from me. And I love him. He's still my boy. He's my favorite Insecticon. I still adore him, but he's just so damn simple. You know, I'm not expecting like high grade engineering transformation aesthetic, but I want a little bit of like.
He felt like he's a core. He felt like he was an oversized core class. The way,
like he just feels like
he
an
really
update of
does.
the Power of the Primes one or the Titans Return or whatever, whichever one he was in.
He feels like an oversized core class. He really, really does. And I think I mentioned that in my review of my copy. You know, man, it wasn't all that long ago. Like a month ago, month and a half ago, I finally reviewed him. I've had him for a while, and I'm not an Insecticon fan, so to get one, I was like, okay, I'll give it a fair shake. But it did not feel like a deluxe. All right, it may be a deluxe, but it does not feel like one. It feels like it should have been a core class. It really does. And I guarantee you, if they would have made this core class, I probably would have liked it a lot better.
And see, this is one of my biggest problems with like this Neo G1 type of thing that they're doing, is that I don't bring the G1 characters back and bring them in their original alt mode, color scheme, whatever. Do, you know, whatever you do, but don't bring the transformations along with them and then charge, you know, an arm and a leg. The Power of the Primes version of Kickback has more engineering in him than this one.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's like Anthony said also, it's standing up robot laying down bug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's what G1 did. Sure, great, fantastic. But don't just make it the way it used to be. Add some spice to it. Because like I messed with him and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of boring. Like I was really looking forward to him. It's like Deluxe Insecticons. Yeah. You kidding me? My boy is getting an update. Great. He's so bland.
Yep, but
you can slap energon weapons on him all you want. Cool, but he's still just this basic freaking bug dude. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Again, not saying I hate this thing, not saying that I don't like it. I'm just slightly disappointed by him. I still bought him, so clearly that says something.
I mean, I was excited when they announced him, and then when I started seeing like the reveals and stuff for him, I was kind of like, okay, because I was thinking Legacy, so I was thinking like, oh man, are we gonna get like a Cyberverse or a Fall of Cybertron Kickback again, like a redo of that, or blah? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna get? What are we getting? And then I saw him, and I was like, oh, okay, so I don't need this one because I have this one twice over. I've got the G1 and the Power of the Primes mold, the Thrilling 30 mold, whatever you want to look at it as. I have it. So it's like, okay, whatever. And it's just, it didn't fill me with a whole lot of hope for Bombshell and Scrapnel. And I just kind of was like, okay, if we're just going to get Neo G1 versions, I think I'm good. I mean, I'll just put the money somewhere else, you know, especially at that time they jacked them up to what, $22?
Yeah, that's when the price increase happened.
Yeah, so I was kind of like,
I mean,
and I will say
it's a good mold. It's just it doesn't feel like it has a place in the deluxe.
Oh, it's a great mold. Don't get me wrong. I love the mold. I just hate how basic it is.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to call this guy Kickback. You can call him Springload, and he'd still be boring.
Yeah. But the thing is that I think I get what you're saying, but I think he still fits what he was supposed to be, which was screen accuracy.
Right.
And he is screen accurate. And you know, the Insecticons I skip every time. They're my least favorite characters because of that. In G1, my cousin had the toy, and I'm like, this is boring. You know, like the transformation was just bleh.
See,
See,
and this is hang on, am I still okay? No, there we are. And this is another thing too, and this is rare for me to do this, so bear with me. You can take a character like this and you can make it boring, but how do you take a character like this and make it exciting?
You do
like two different totally aesthetics. I get it. One's based on a real life animal, the other's based on a robotic version of an animal, but like same principle. Like this thing is more exciting than that.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
And I think the other thing too is like they didn't let the Power of the Primes mold breathe. I think that's the biggest issue here is
good point. Yes, good point.
Is that I don't think this figure would have had too many naysayers if this would have come out 2, maybe 3 years from now, right?
Yeah.
Like if this would have been, finally everyone started getting all their Neo G1 figures and they're kind of looking at their bombshells and their kickbacks and stuff from Power of the Primes going, okay, they're good, but we need some updates. Like when people start questioning those is when this guy should have come out. They just didn't let it breathe. Hey, Big M, what's up, man? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like 2017 is when we got kicked back for the final wave of Power of the Primes, and then a year later we're getting into Siege and everything. But like even then, I feel like I maybe should have waited. But yeah.
Well, they released that mold twice. They released it once in Thrilling 30, and then they released it in Power of the Primes. Right? So
no, that's Shrapnel you're thinking of.
Oh no, you're right. You're right, because it was called Scrapnel and then Shrapnel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're right. You're right. My fault.
Like I liked these smaller. Now look, I am not an Insecticon fan. I'm going to say that right away. I if it was up to me, my brother got both of these for me. I'm not. I would otherwise never buy them.
I love your brother, man.
I gotta say, this was actually a better mold than this one we see on screen. It in my opinion, it had some better engineering. It looks better, and I think it was the right scale. But that's just me. Everyone has a different opinion about
I mean, I'm waiting for the deluxe version. I'm hoping it's going to be good.
When this was first talked about, I was like, okay, well, so we're finally getting one to scale, And no, it's a deluxe, and I'm like, great, I think. And then when I finally got my hands on it, again, like everybody says, he felt wrong. It just feels wrong, and
it's just like kissing your sister in Star Wars. It feels wrong.
The way that I look at this entire like new deluxe Insecticon thing is you have your base core Insecticons from the Prime Wars trilogy, and then you have like their powered up version whenever they ate that power core in the episode Insecticon Syndrome.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it. Like,
they're
not bad. They're not bad. They're not terrible. They're just a little bland and same engineering carried over on a higher scale, just like the Earthrise Seeker mold.
Yeah, and Benjamin says in chat the Insecticons should have all came together. That would have been nice if they gave us a 3-pack.
Why didn't they?
Okay, hold on. If it's a 3-pack or a 2-pack, automatically it's an exclusive line.
Yep.
So that means it's going to be lost somewhere. Scalpers are going to get it.
Yep.
So I'd much rather they shelf warm, and that, because that's one thing now. Okay, my most worrisome thing right now is that they've announced that listing that Godbot showed, and they had a 2-pack. Okay. And now, because of the price, I'm thinking it could potentially be Dirge and Ramjet in a 2-pack.
Oh,
and that scares the shit out of me.
Wait, was this an SSA6 2-pack, or was it a Buzzworthy Bumblebee 2-pack?
But that's the thing.
Oh, crap.
So it could be Diane and our Ariel. Who knows?
Ooh, that'd be good.
But if they do... I'm going to say it right now. If they do Dirge and Ramjet in an exclusive line, I quit. I'm selling everything and I'm going to a third party. Because that means they don't care. Honestly, they haven't heard anybody saying don't.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, that's going to be my draw line.
And you've got a right to say that, because look, every Seeker since Combiner Wars has been one exclusive after another. One of the Seekers.
Well, there's been a exclusive in each line.
Like
Thundercracker was an Skywarp was an exclusive. Well, then after that, there was Dirge and Ramjet, again a package, exclusive for Amazon. And
if they do that exclusive crap again,
people are gonna go freaking apeshit, because there's a lot of people who don't have these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I was actually going to suggest, not to try to shift focus back on me, because I'm not self-centered like that, but if we want to talk about the listings after we're done here, I mean, is that okay, input? Can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that. Go ahead. Let's jump to
Yep.
your number 2 so we can get to the listings conversation.
Okay, so let's see, kickback. Wait, number 2?
Yeah. Or is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be your number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you did Crasher, Ironhide, and Kickback.
Okay, I pulled up
yeah.
too many tabs then. Oh, I still have some open. That's why.
Timmy K
My
says,
dumb
so this
ass.
isn't the kissing sister in the Star Wars live stream? Nope.
Close, but not this time.
Okay, so I got a tough choice to actually. No, I don't. Just have to get rid of this one. Okay, so another Velocitron one, because a lot of people do not seem to be too satisfied with the Velocitron stuff, or at least some of the Velocitron stuff. Again, this one also kind of hurts because while the engineering and everything on him is beautiful, I really would have preferred if they at least added the wheels.
Oh,
And I'm a sucker for IDW, but god damn it. Yeah, I
Oh my god, what a
IDW universe. I'm sorry, comic universe, because I can't say
I
IDW. I don't know.
completely passed.
Hold on,
on
guys.
it.
I'll be right
Not
back.
fun.
Hold on. I just heard something fall in the house. I'll be right back.
Oh, I hate when that happens. You have a ghost.
I passed on this so many times. It's still sitting, warming my shelves at my Walmart, and I just will not grab it. I will not. It's disappointing. I mean, they could have done so, like where those faux wheels are. They actually could have put wheels there.
Yeah, that's where I was going to get to that, actually.
It's ridiculous. They have all that realty there, all that space there to put wheels in, and you just molded some plastic to look like wheels rather than,
The other thing that bugs me too is like this is a design that I genuinely have wanted for a very long time from a third-party company, from Hasbro themselves, for anything, because I'm a big IDW guy. Like if you ask me who my favorite character from IDW is, I'm going to tell you flat out it's Tarn. And I can guarantee you I was elated when I heard he was getting a Legacy Evolution figure. I was super excited for this when he was first revealed. But again, just like all the other figures that I've put on this list so far, experiencing them, looking at them is one thing, experiencing them is another. And this has a lot of the same issues that is carried over from the SS86 Blur, where it's like there's no wheels on him, period.
Mm-hmm.
So he just slides. Like, yeah, he's supposed to be a hover car, but for a toy functionality's sake, like, come on, add some wheels. It's not going to cost you that much. Like, what, 4 cents? Maybe more? I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Sounds about right.
And the design's cool. I mean, there are some issues that I have with it, like how big the forearm panels are. They shouldn't be that big, but again, for the design, it makes sense. And he just shares a lot of similar parts from the SS86 counterpart, which again, it's fair. It's the same mold, but like, it doesn't do it justice properly. Like, I'm glad we have it. He's going to look great with, he's going to look great with the MMC guys. Like, I have their Hot Rod. He's going to look great, and Optimus and all them. So he's going to fit right into the IDW collection.
For me, the big pass is like Razs. Is why have an open canopy? Why couldn't have they, spent a little bit more and covered that area up there? It's like a seat back there. People say, well, it's just a seat. Well,
I'm pretty sure he had that design though in the comic.
No,
like that open canopy.
No, depends on the design. So the IDW design here is pulled from a couple different IDW Blur designs. But because I don't even know where
aerodynamics. I mean,
my biggest thing with the figure is like the arm kibble doesn't tab in, and it didn't tab in on the 86 figure. But now all you did was make it heavier by putting these faux wheels on it, and now it just doesn't tab in at all, and it's just, and I wasn't a fan of that figure to begin with because it copied Titan's Return Blur and made it worse. And Titan's Return Blur is a fantastic figure.
Yep.
But this one copied the engineering. 86 Blur copied all of that, and they resold it. And I was like, and the plastic feels worse. Like, I don't know how to explain it. That's the first time where I was like, what's the word? Tactile, right?
Yeah.
Where I was like, man, this just doesn't feel the same whatsoever.
No, he felt lighter and like more flimsy than his.
It's the same
previous
thing I was
counterpart.
saying with the Studio
Yeah.
Series Bumblebee toys. That plastic, it's that same plastic. I worry about the longevity of it because it just doesn't feel right.
I feel like Studio Series is the better quality from the lines entirely, though, because like I very rarely hear any QC issues unless it's like clear plastic breakage, like on Stinger or something. But like
mine is loose joints I don't care what, except for Wheeljack.
well, right, but I mean, I'm just saying, like specifically the whole line across the board. Studio Series, I think, is the one that does not have as many QC issues as like the G1 stuff or Beast Wars.
That's
stuff.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
I will
I feel
say
like
this.
that's where they're putting a lot more of their money because it's supposed to be Studio Series, and then the main line gets like the Cyberverse treatment.
I think what they should do is just drop a couple of lines. Like, okay, drop the Studio Series line and make everything into Legacy, right?
Well, they dropped Cyberverse, which is a shame because Tarn was officially introduced into the official canon in Cyberverse.
Yeah, buddy.
and it was pretty good.
There was still a lot of Cyberverse toys left that was supposed to come out, and they didn't. Like Alita 1, all right? The Legacy Alita 1 is by every feel, definition, and look a Cyberverse toy. Every bit. Even though, say, it was really meant for Minerva, whatever. No, that was a Cyberverse toy. It has all the hallmarks of a Cyberverse line toy.
I'm sorry, you mentioned Cyberverse Tarn, and I just have to say this. Input, I'm sorry for if this is going to get, like, demonetized or something.
I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so you can say whatever you want.
That motherfucker declared genocide in a cartoon. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great seeing him now in official capacity.
Yeah.
You know,
like they watered him down, definitely.
Put up
like they made it.
The MCDJ, CDC.
No, hold on. Now think about this.
The DJD.
Now think about this. What I love what they did with Tarn in Cyberverse, they watered him down, but he was still that villainous.
He stayed true to the IDW character for sure.
Absolutely.
Again, that motherfucker declared genocide on everyone. He flat out said, "I will eliminate all of you."
No, absolutely. Real quick, what's up, MCDJ? No, but here's what I love about what they did. Okay, now think about this: you're 8 years old, and you're watching Cyberverse, and you see Tarn. You're like, "Oh man, he looks awesome. He's about to wreck everything." Then you're 20. Let's just time jump. Say you're 21, 23. And you're like, man, I used to like Transformers as a kid. I think I'm gonna go back and read some of the old IDW comics. You're on the internet, you're searching through history, and then you see, oh man, Tarn was one of my favorite Cyberverse characters. Oh, he debuted in IDW, and you start flipping through the IDW books, and then you realize how sick and twisted he really is. And then now you fall even deeper in love with Tarn because you loved him and how badass he was in the cartoon. But now you realize there's even more twisted, sick, sadistic version of him out there. And it's like, oh, man, just imagine finding that now. And I absolutely love that as a concept, you know, when you can find something out there that just takes a character and just ranks it up to 11. They dime him out, you know, and he's ranked up to 10. Just crazy. Just love it. I love it.
I would have loved to see him actually talk someone to death in the Cyberverse cartoon, but what we got, I'm happy with.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Anyway, IDW wise,
they kind of alluded that by how, you know, rather skillfully, I might add.
Well, yeah, I mean, silver tongue, but I mean, like, literally, like, talking.
Just talked his way into getting the Autobots to help him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I wanted to see him actually use his ability and match his timbre of his voice with someone's spark and coax them into dying. Like, as dark as I would have been, I love that shit. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, Blur number 2, not a big fan. I do appreciate the design. I think it's also even based on the IDW All Hail Megatron design because we do see them on Cybertron. Yep. So there's definitely an amalgamation, but God, it could have been so much better. Okay, and for number 1, again, this may cause a little bit of flack, but it's my choice.
That's right. It's your choice.
Clamp down.
Really? I've been looking for him. I haven't found him.
Don't get me wrong. I like him. Again, I like everything on this list. I'm just a little let down by him because, one, I was under the expectation that he was going to be the Siege sideswipe mold, and I would have preferred that.
Okay.
That would have been cool. His availability was garbage.
Yeah,
I've seen him like maybe once in retail and never again, and that's sad because I still haven't seen Cosmos. I haven't,
Oh,
but I still haven't seen him.
Clampdown is probably my favorite of the entire Velocity line.
My only issue with him is that his thighs are not red.
I fixed mine so that they are. I painted his biceps and his thighs red because that's the way they should be.
Is there already existing Lambo mold that has the red thighs from this?
The masterpiece version. Yep.
Oh no, I meant I mean like from all the characters like Tiger Track and Deep Cover and all that. Like does anyone have...
Red Alert.
Alert duh. Yeah, I could just get another. Okay. I don't know. I kind of like the gray. Kind of work. Either way, I'm just kind of let down by him. Like I love him. He's cool. I'm glad to have another Diaclone character because it gives me an excuse to add him to like the late 80 lineup. Like I could see this guy being 1986 lineup in the cartoon if he wanted to be, but his availability was terrible. Again, I would have preferred the Cybertronian car, not the Kingdom Sideswipe mold, because I'm not super keen on the Kingdom. Like once you get the upgrade kit that's out there for like the spoilers, it kind of makes him look a little bit more like a Lamborghini Countach. But I was happy with him, but I'm also kind of like, oh, Diaclone character, cool. But yeah, he just little disappointing, not terrible, but again, not great either. Again, I got him, so clearly I like him. I like everything. I'm not a big naysayer, but just a little disappointed.
That was one of the last Hasbro figures that I bought, and I was just kind of like, I don't know. This was $30. You know what I mean?
Also, if I had to give an honorable mention, Legacy Skywarp, because that is just downright depressing. He should have came with a
I painted his feet the correct color, his thighs, his biceps here. I painted it all correct color, except that his hands should be black and they're white. So he's pretty close to the original Diaclone look. It's just his hands should be black. And I debated painting them black, but I actually kind of like them white. So I left them white. So
yeah, it's like I said, there's certain I don't mind character interpretations from designers, but there are certain I kind of feel like there are certain things that characteristics that characters have.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and
have to be there.
It's almost like how people are getting upset with Rise of the Beast Wheeljack for not respecting the source material, even though we don't know his personality yet.
Ask if Dennis was still here, there'd be a tangent, and I totally agree with it. So
Look,
Dennis,
I'm not sold on that Rise of the Beast.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I like new designs. I like fresh takes. As long as he has the personality, that's all I really care about.
They could have made him a new character, okay? They didn't have to call it Wheeljack, all right? They still have the name from the Studio Series line, so it's not that they were going to lose the name or anything like that. You know, they have it. They could have called it any new character that they wished, but no, they decided to go with Wheeljack, which is a slap in the face to every one of his fans, especially like Dennis there in chat. You can see him in chat because he's one of Dennis's favorite characters. I love the character too. And when I first saw that it was Wheeljack, I was like, what? How is that Wheeljack?
Yeah.
I don't care about
I said in one of my live streams that I think that the glasses are his ears and they just kind of wrap around to make like magnifying glasses or something for him to work on. But my biggest issue with his, and if that's not the case, then that's a huge missed opportunity.
Well, yeah,
but my biggest issue with his design is the same thing. They did the same thing in the Michael Bay Turtles movie with Donatello. Oh, he's a nerd. Just throw a bunch of nerd stuff at him until he looks nerdy enough, you know? And it's like, come on, man. Like, we get it. Donatello, he's a nerd. So you put some big glasses. Then you put a Super Nintendo controller on him. And then you put a bunch of, like, BS, like, stuff, you know, gadgets and stuff. And they're doing the same thing with Wheeljack. It's these big, nerdy 1990s stereotypical nerd glasses when he doesn't need that. Well, and all they had to do was give him the head design from Bumblebee. You know,
I think the only way this could work,
Benjamin,
story-wise, the only way this could work is if the Autobots have been hiding on Earth, like truly hiding in the 90s because of whatever happened to Cybertron and everything, and they're really hiding. But they tap into the culture, and Wheeljack is just a Hercule fan.
I can see that too. No, and
So
that would
if that's the choice, because it's still Wheeljack, but he's a Hercule fan, you know what? I'll take it. That could
if
pass.
if that's the case, he's got to cause the biggest explosion by accident and look at Optimus and go, "Did I do that?"
Yep, he does.
Yeah.
If
Absolutely,
you do
hands
that,
down.
I'll say, okay, that's a nod to the 90s.
Yeah, see, for
Same-
me, like
I
I said,
still-
it isn't even the alt mode. That doesn't bother. Yes, it's not a race car, wheeljack race car. I get okay. That doesn't bother me. It's the fact that the head design looks nothing like a wheeljack I have ever known.
Yeah.
All right, ever. Even the Studio Series Bumblebee movie, the head sculpt, which in my opinion, is superb. Probably the best wheeljack head sculpt ever. All right, but it just doesn't feel like when I look at that, nothing about that toy says wheeljack to me. Nothing.
And I want to say this too, real quick. I think the problem that I think what's causing the issue for a lot of people is that when you look at the character designs for these characters, Optimus Prime looks like Prime, Cheetor looks like Cheetor, Primal
Air Razor looks like
Primal.
Air Razor.
You go down the list of all these characters that are in there, and they all, for the most part, represent what they're supposed to look like. And then you get the Wheeljack, and it's like, why is he so left field out of everybody there? Why? It doesn't make any sense.
I hadn't thought about that, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Well, go ahead, TFA. What are you trying to say?
I was just saying Mirage too. Like people get upset with Wheeljack, but they don't get upset with Mirage.
No, people are upset with Mirage.
Yeah, but people have been upset at Mirage for a year now. So
I mean, okay, fair.
Yeah.
I guess I've been out of the loop. I don't know. Also, I didn't mean for this to be like a big thing. I was just saying it's like a lot of people getting upset about figures and certain
any
things.
discussion is a good discussion.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I'll say this about Mirage. People, please. He's a 911, not a 935. Jazz is a 935.
Yeah.
Calm down, okay? And I get it. It's not a fault of the movie designers. It's a fault of Porsche because everything has to look like a freaking 911. Everything has to look like a frog bumping its ass when it hops, okay? That's Porsche's fault, not the designers. But understand, Jazz is a 935, not a 911, okay? Soapbox over. But
I'm more concerned with the choice of voice actors, but that's my thing.
I mean, if
not coming,
Liza Koshy is going to end up voicing RC and not Grey Delisle again, I'm already kind of like, this is...
Gary Chalk was not asked to be Primal.
No.
That's the okay, and that's my biggest. That's a huge issue to me because there are voice actors. Okay, like in the Mario movie, they went with Chris Pratt, but they asked the Mario voice actor, and he was like, "I don't think I could do 2 hours of a Mario voice. It would kill me." And you got to think that guy's almost 70 years old, but Nintendo went to him to do the entire movie, and he said he had to turn it down because he wasn't sure if he could do it, and that's respectable. If Gary Chalk felt the same way, but all he wanted to do was be asked, that is respect to the original voice actor. But then again, this is a movie franchise that made Peter Cullen try out for Optimus, and he almost didn't get it.
Yeah.
Let's put that in perspective, I guess. But Benjamin says Pete Davidson's voice, yuck.
Yeah.
When they announced Pete Davidson, or when I saw it, I think of Pete Davidson as that from that Taco Bell ad where he's like holding the whatever they're trying to sell, that wrapped taco thing, and he's like, breakfast should always include one of these, and it's like, that's, I don't know. If you guys haven't seen it, just type in Pete Davidson Taco Bell ad, just see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
This dude even done any voice acting?
He did an obscure thing.
Not a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Perlman is not good for Primal. But I've been playing Fallout for 20 years or more, and he's a good narrator for Fallout. And he did other voice acting gigs, and he's good. And I even like his presence in Blade 2. And so I'm a fan of Perlman. but I don't agree with him being primal.
I want to say this too, as far as all of that goes. I'm getting really tired of Hollywood hiring actors and not voice actors. Look, they're not going to sell your movie, okay? Because people aren't physically seeing the actors on screen, so they're not selling the movie the way that they used to, right? Like Angelina Jolie will be, I don't know, in some movie, and her name and her recognition and her face will sell that movie, not her voice, right?
Yeah.
So it's get back, man. Hollywood needs to get back to using actual voice actors because this is what they do for a living.
You know what?
They chose not to act on screen. They chose to act behind the scenes with their voice.
But the thing is that, the only movie that I could say was it was good to have actors and not just voice actors was that Beowulf movie. Because they 3D'd the actors. They 3D'd the actors and used the actors to voice themselves. And I thought that was okay. Yeah. But I mean, would Shrek still have been good without Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, because Shrek was originally going to be
just British.
No. He was the original voice actor was oh my God, Uncle Buck, the guy who played Uncle Buck, and yeah, the Planes,
John
Trains,
Candy was alive.
He was alive when they started voice acting for it, when they started the filming and all that stuff.
And then he died shortly after.
I love John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy. Thank you. John Candy was originally. There is voice clips out there with John Candy as Shrek. And
Buck is one of the greatest movie ever made.
It is.
He's a Canadian legend. So you say, the moment somebody says John Candy, I'm sitting down, I'm watching it.
But he was originally supposed to be Shrek, and John Candy. I don't think Mike Myers. I don't think Mike Myers was bad for the role, but hearing John Candy's stuff as Shrek really kind of solidifies Shrek as a character. It kind of brings it all the way around, because when you look at Mike Myers and you look at Shrek, you're like, okay, I guess it works, whatever, because, he also played Fat Bastard, so it works. I can kind of see maybe where they're going for, whatever.
But I think the change of accent was a good idea, because they recorded everything, and then Myers said he should be Scottish, and then re-recorded everything. Okay, it cost them like $80,000, but they re-recorded, and that was a good choice to make him.
It was very popular and still is for the character.
Oh, it still is. Yeah. It's one of my son's freaking most favorite movie of all time. My oldest, if I say bad stuff about about Shrek, then he, he doesn't talk to me anyway, so that's all good. But no, I mean the choice, like they went with Air Razor is Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh.
And I'm like, I love her. I don't want. Air Razor is my girl, but Pauline, I forgot her name, but that the original actress who also did Frieza in Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. She's fantastic.
I think her name was like Pauline Newlander or something.
Nah,
it depends on which version of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Chris,
if you're going with
is my Frieza. Chris and his brother Greg. And I'm sad at Greg's wallet. I'm sad at Chris's passing, but Chris Ayers has always been my Frieza, and so I'm sad at his passing. I've met him numerous times, hung out with him numerous times. Him and his brother Greg, and so he's always going to be my Frieza. So,
I mean, we all have our favorite. So.
I'll say this about Chris's portrayal as Frieza. It's not as menacing as the original American Frieza voice actress.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. And because there was something in the original performance from 90s, early thousands, the Toonami run of DBZ, where that Frieza voice, man, just it was cold, it was calculating, good. It was menacing. And when they replaced her, it was still cold and calculating, but the menace was gone. It didn't hit the same. You know what I mean? It just
Well, but to speak to him about the role, uh, um, I missed him so much. Oh man. Again, I knew the Ayers. I know the Ayers brothers really well from Anime Iowa and several other conventions. I hung out with them quite a
Okay.
few times. But um, he wanted Frieza to be almost, you know, he didn't want Frieza to be outwardly menacing. He wanted to lure people into the menace, because if you get what I mean, it's like
Yeah. No, I get that.
evil. He's evil, but he's okay with being evil. He's jovial about being evil. So he'd come across as so he'd downplay the evil somewhat, but at the same time, he'd willingly be happily, as we saw, kill anyone because that's just the type of
Yeah.
person he is. But he's
But
so
then,
I loved Chris's portrayal of it. So
I guess my thing is like, if you want a really good comparison, go watch the Bardock movie, the first one, Bardock, the father of Goku.
yeah.
Go watch that, and at the end, when the original voice actress is laughing as she's forming that giant ball of
yeah,
doom,
yeah.
and it's just like the entire setup is just, she's like, stupid monkey, you're gonna blah, 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 blah. I'll take care of this myself, blah, blah. And you're just like, oh man. And Frieza, just little bitty ball pops up out of Frieza's ship, and it's Frieza in the chair, and it's just so calm and so quiet and so relaxing. And then the ball starts forming, and she's laughing. And it's just like, and it was instant, man. It was instant maniacal laughter. It was like a switch that went on. And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Chris's performance of Frieza, but it's just that, man, that Bardock movie just solidified her as Frieza.
It's a good movie too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. So at the end, I'm worried about the voice choice, but the same thing with Earthspark. I mean, that guy from Community to do Bumblebee. I'm
Danny
like,
Pudi.
okay, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with that.
So I was worried, but everybody seems to be enjoying the show, so I guess that's a good thing. I haven't had the chance to watch it. I don't have Paramount Plus, and I don't have TV. So
I haven't seen it either.
I think they're free on YouTube now.
potentially, yeah. No, actually, in
Oh,
US,
no,
yes.
they're-
Canada, not yet.
Oh
I
my
know there are
God,
some quick.
dude.
Raz, I'll link you to a site that I know that's good for watching it. But
Sure,
I will
thanks.
say Danny Pudi as Bumblebee is not bad. He kind of gives me more like Hot Shot vibes, if anything.
Yeah.
Which is if it would have been Hot Shot, I would have been okay with, but because
or you could even say it's like IDW Bumblebee because he's not like the cheerful. Oh, let's go on an adventure. It's kind of more like teenager, like Rid 2015.
I miss Dan Gilvezan. I'm so sick of this guy being snubbed every time.
Yeah.
And
Dan's a great guy too. Like, I feel bad.
Yeah,
for him.
he's
such a
freaking
great
hard to
guy.
get on an interview, but he's a great. I really want to. My three most wanted right now are Paul Iding, Susan Blue, and Dan Gilvezan. Those are the three I'm working on, and I have no luck. So
I just want to.
If I see him at TFCon, I'll let him know you want to do an interview with him.
sure, man. Well, I already reached out, and his I don't know, website team replied that he was too busy because of conventions and stuff like that. So
probably his agent.
Okay, that's fair.
So
How about them listings?
But then I know I have
Sorry.
the
Yeah, that's one of the sites got bought.
I have the
about to see him
Facebook of his
parking.
wife, so I could probably just say, "Hey, how about you talk to your husband?" No, but then that would be just crass. So,
Yeah, I'll talk. I'll see. I'll ask him. I'll talk to him if I go.
I think
down
he
there.
has a regular Facebook too that you can message.
yeah. Well, the thing I message Facebook, I message anything they have. I basically copy paste the same message to all the actors saying how I want to do it, and like I have my professional blurb that I send. It says it's going to be done at your time, your date, how you like it. You want it live, you want it not live. I recommend live, but because I don't have any good way to record anything, so. But it's just it's I don't know what 23 is going to bring me, but hopefully a couple more actors.
All right. Well, guys, I guess thanks for everyone who joined us. Thank you, Godbot. Shout out to Danni Dolphin. The safest place to find her is not on YouTube. We all know that. And actually, I think Danny's the only one who missed tonight. And
yeah, too bad.
So yeah, thanks to everyone who joined. Thanks to everyone in chat. Thank you to everyone who joined me up here on the show. Thanks, Razzle, Ninja Bill, TFA. And we'll do, I guess, round robin. Razzle Kane, where can they find you? Tell them.
You can find me on
them.
YouTube as the Raziel Kane Reviews. You can find me on Facebook on, well, either my Raziel Kane profile or my Raziel Kane Review page. You can find me on Instagram, Discord, and StarTrekIsBetter.com.
There it is. There it is. Ninja Bill, where can they find you?
You can find me here on YouTube as Ninja Bill Reviews. You can find me on tformers.com as Shinobi Biru. You can see both my names up there on screen, Ninja Bill and Shinobi Biru. You can also find me as Shinobi Biru on Facebook. And really, that's it.
All right, TFA, where can they find you at, man?
I'm TFA 1024, the TF Addict. You can find me here on YouTube and Instagram. I'm not the most consistent guy. I will continue to say that until I'm blue in the face because I don't want people to constantly expect content. But when I post, hopefully it's worthwhile, I guess. I don't really know.
Like I told you, man, it's always worthwhile when you post because you put energy into it. That's what it is. So,
but yeah, you can find me there. I do on occasion. I do mainly live streams, which, to be honest, is the easiest form of content for me to make. But every so often, I will be putting my energy towards something more, I guess, effortful, more full of effort. So the occasional review, which I'm debating on bringing back, I'm still solely very much working on my Armadaversary video, which I failed to promote, as well as the Rise of the Beast teaser breakdown, as well as the Transformers Reactivate announcement video and theory that I had going on. But yeah, I'm sort of just on a break for a little bit just because of the holidays. If you want more information, I'll probably be doing a live stream after this to let people know, hey, this is why I'm not doing stuff. So come over there and tune in for a little bit. I might be an hour, might be 4 hours. I don't know. I hope it's not 4 hours, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Just as usual, please be sure to support everyone here because, as I always say, support costs nothing, but it's incredibly valuable. So please be sure to subscribe and support everyone involved.
And on that note, I want to say also, if you guys want to watch, the link to TFA's channel is down in the description below. So you can watch the follow-up stream that he's doing for here. And on that note, everybody, thank you. Love you guys. Stay safe. It is the holidays. So again, stay safe so you guys can have another one next year. And see you guys next time when we see you.